Nosotros vivimos aquí en la casa. We live here in the house. This unit is all about where we live and items we can find around our homes. Now, we will go through this information fast, but please remember to pause the video at any point or rewind as many times as you need. In this lesson, we will be able to describe a house and household items, we will be able to indicate the order of things, and we will be able to describe people and locations. Before we get into our new vocabulary words, let's remember some of the grammar we have learned. Let's quick review stem-changing boot verbs, location words, colors, clothing, the verbs ser y estar, and ordinal numbers. Stem-changing boot verbs. Remember that some verbs have a stem change in every conjugation except nosotros and vosotros. Chop off the ending to find your regular stem, then if the conjugation is within our boot shape, we change our stem and then add our new ending. Remember that there are a few categories of stem changes. If you forgot, be sure to review your notes from Unit 4, Lesson 1. Preposiciones de lugar are placement words. Placement prepositions and words help us describe where things are located. For how you feel and where you are, remember to always use the verb estar. We most recently reviewed these words in our last video from Unit 4, Lesson 2. If you need a more in-depth refresher, go back and review there. Para nuestras preposiciones, tenemos fuera de, outside of, derecho, straight forward, a la izquierda de, to the left of, a la derecha de, to the right of, aquí y allí, here and there, debajo de, underneath, dentro de, inside of, encima de, on top of, al lado de, to the side of, entre, in between, cerca de, close to, enfrente de or delante de, in front of, abajo, down, arriba, up, detrás de, behind, lejos de, far from. Great! Let's also remind ourselves of the fact that we have two verbs that mean to be. Primero, vamos a hablar del verbo ser. Ser can be used for describing things, talking about one's origin, discussing time, or tying nouns together. Las formas del verbo ser son yo soy, tú eres, él es, ella es, usted es, nosotros somos, vosotros sois, ellos son, ellas son, ustedes son. How you feel and where you are, always use the verb estar. Estar is used to discuss temporary states of being, like feelings, and locations. Cuando hablas del verbo estar, usas las formas yo estoy, tú estás, él está, ella está, usted está, nosotros estamos, vosotros estáis, ellos están, ellas están. Ordinal numbers. Ordinal numbers help us give a numerical order to stories or descriptions. Primero o primera, first. Segundo o segunda, second. Tercero o tercera, third. Cuarto o cuarta, fourth. Quinto o quinta, fifth. Sexto o sexta, sixth. Séptimo o séptima, seventh. Octavo o octava, eighth. Noveno o novena, ninth. Décimo o décima, tenth. Bellísimo. Ahora vamos a aprender vocabulario nuevo. El apartamento, the apartment. La casa, the house. La casa móvil, mobile home. Hogar, home. La cerca o la valla, the fence. El garaje, the garage. El patio, the patio. El trespatio, backyard. El jardín, the garden. La pared, the wall. Las escaleras, the stairway. When talking about stairs, we have two verbs to use. To go up the stairs, puedes usar el verbo subir. Yo subo las escaleras. Tú subes, él o ella sube, nosotros subimos, ellos o ellas suben. When talking about going down the stairs, usas el verbo bajar. Yo bajo las escaleras. Tú bajas. Él o ella baja. Nosotros bajamos. Ellos o ellas bajan las escaleras. ¡Increíble! Let's get back to las palabras nuevas. La planta baja, the ground floor. El piso is the floor, usually referring to the level of a building, while el suelo also means floor. La sala, the living room. Inside the living room, we can find many things. Las cortinas, the curtains. La alfombra, the rug. La ventana, the window. Los muebles, the furniture. El sofá, the couch. La cocina, the kitchen. Think about the verb cocinar, to cook. La estufa, the stove. El congelador, the freezer. El refrigerador, the fridge. El lavaplatos, dishwasher. El microondas, microwave. El baño, the bathroom. Many of these words have verbs that sound much like the room you would do that action in. Por ejemplo, bañarse significa to bathe oneself. La toalla, the towel. El lavabo, the sink. El espejo, the mirror. La basura, the garbage can. La ropa sucia, dirty clothes. El comedor, the dining room. Think about the verb comer, to eat, which is what you do in the dining room. La mesa, the table. La luz, the light. El cuarto, the room. Think about the word quarters. Your quarters are your room. You could also use the word dormitorio for bedroom. This can be connected to the verb dormir, to sleep. La computadora, the computer. La silla, the seat or the chair. El escritorio, the desk. La cosa, the thing. La cómoda, the dresser. La cama, the bed. Los videojuegos, the video games. Los audífonos, headphones. El celular, cell phone. La lámpara, la lámpara. Excelente! So we have finished all of our vocabulario for this lesson, but there is one more thing we should remind ourselves of. At the top, you see antes de nombres, before nouns, después de nombres, after nouns. Think of this like a rule of thumb. Most adjectives go after the noun in Spanish. But there are some important exceptions. Let's start on the left side. Antes de nombres, these are words that come before the noun. 1. Possessives. These show ownership. Chaqueta, my jacket. Su gorra, his, her cap. Notice that we don't say chaqueta mi. It's always mi before noun. 2. Numbers. Numbers always come before. Dos zapatos, 2 shoes. 5 ensaladas, 5 salads. You would never say zapatos dos. 3. Demonstratives. These are words like this, that, these, those. Estas sandalias, these sandals. Ese vestido, that dress. Again, they go before the noun, just like in English. The middle column are the meaning changers. This is important. This is where things get interesting. Some adjectives can go before or after, but the meaning changes. Por ejemplo, mi amiga vieja equals my elderly friend. Mi vieja amiga equals my old longtime friend. Same words. Different meaning depending on placement. Here is another key idea. When you have multiple adjectives, the less important one usually comes first. La larga falda verde, the long green skirt. Green is more essential because it stays closer to the noun. In the right side column, después de nombres. Now this is the most common rule in Spanish. Most adjectives go after the noun. 1. Colors. La falda roja, the red skirt. Los pantalones verdes, the green pants. In English, the adjective comes first, but in Spanish, the noun comes first. 2. Affiliations and nationality. El restaurante mexicano, the Mexican restaurant. See, the description word comes after. 3. Phrases and designs. El abrigo de rayas, striped coat. La bufanda de cuadros, plaid scarf. These are like descriptive phrases. They follow the noun. So what is the big takeaway? If you remember nothing else, remember this. Most of the time in Spanish, the noun comes first, then the adjective. But some words must go before, like possessives, numbers, demonstratives, and some adjectives change meaning depending on placement. Think of Spanish like building a sentence in layers. Start with your noun, then add details after, unless it's one of those special categories. Now, let's take all of the things we have reviewed and learned and put it into action with a project. You will create your dream house, o casa de ensueños, using our new vocab. We will also write about our homes and describe each room using vocabulario voz nuevo y viejo. Necesitas usar todas las palabras de vocabulario. You need to use all of the vocabulary words from this lesson. Go back and rewind the video if needed. También, usas buena artesanía. Use good craftsmanship and put your best effort in. It is more fun when you put yourself into your creations. You do not have to be an artist to deepen your knowledge through art. Para crear nuestras casas de papel, primero, toma una hoja de papel y dobla la esquina de abajo hacia arriba. First, take a piece of paper and fold the bottom corner up. Haz un triángulo recto. This should make a right triangle. Luego, corta la parte extra. Then, cut the extra part, the rectangle. Abre el papel. Open the paper. Ahora es un cuadrado perfecto. Now you should see a perfect square. Dobla el cuadrado de dos maneras, como un hot dog y como una hamburguesa. Fold your square two ways, like a hot dog and like a hamburger. This should give you a cross-section of perpendicular folds when you open up the square. This will be the fun part. Now, while it is flat, diseña tu cuarto en dos paredes y crea un piso. Design your room on two walls and create a floor. Puedes usar diferentes diseños para crear el estilo que quieres. You can use different designs to create the style that you want. Do not draw on one of the floor quadrants, as this will eventually be overlapped. Corta entre los dos cuadrantes del piso. Corta hasta el centro del papel. Cut between the two floor quadrants. Cut to the center of the paper. Luego, pon un cuadrante con diseño encima del cuadrante blanco. Then, overlap the quadrant with the floor design on top of the blank quadrant. Pega el suelo con diseño encima de la parte blanca. Glue the floor with the design on top of the blank part. Cuando tienes por lo menos 4 cuartos, when you have at least 4 rooms, pega todas las paredes entre sí, excepto una. Glue all the walls together except one. Esta es la parte para abrir y cerrar tu casa 3D como un libro. This is the part to open and close your 3D house like a book. Dobla los pisos hacia arriba para que la casa puede abrir y cerrar fácilmente. Fold the floors up so that the house can open and close easily. Tal vez necesitas doblar un poco más fuerte. Sometimes you need to fold it a bit forcefully. Trabaja despacio y con cuidado para tener artesanía buena. Usa los mismos métodos de doblar y cortar para hacer un cuadrado perfecto. Puedes hacer esto para crear una portada exterior. Me gusta usar otro color para agregar contraste. Using the same methods of folding and cutting to get a perfect square, you can do this to create an outer cover. I like to use another color to add some contrast. Fold all of your rooms and shut it like a book. Then glue your cover to front and back of the outside. Agrega un techo, a roof, y diseña el exterior de tu casa. Puedes dibujar ventanas, un jardín, una puerta, un patio, lo que quieras. Remember to have fun with it and make it your own while also using all of the new vocabulary words we learned in this video. Buena suerte y diviértete creando.